welcome to the warm-up. I hope you've all had a great week, apart from you, Edouard Mendy. I hope you've had an absolutely horrible one after you ruined my weekend last week. Only joking, of course. We go again on Sunday, and bringing you all the build-up, as always, with me is, of course, the ambassador Marcus Gale and Brentford women's gaffer Carly Osborne. Plus, we got a little bit of this. Pinnock in the air. Do 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 do, Pinnock in the air. I did a lap of the pitch with a man mountain Ivan Pinnock to find out why he's so good at heading and who would win an aerial battle, him or Ivan. Top of the charts is Ivan.
Yeah.
Right. You two have played each other a few times. So who's winning that?
Well, the results speak for itself. We won both games when I played against him. He didn't score, so.
Everyone is talking about Squid Game at the moment, so we challenged the first team squad to take on the Dalgona challenge. Obviously though, no players' lives were at risk.
Alright, well that's a good start, that just broke off. That's a good start. That was an accident, by the way.
And for the third season in a row, Brendan Rodgers brings his Leicester side to TW8, so we'll have all the build-up for that one. What a show. That's our part of the bargain, Carly. What do we need from the guys at home?
We need you to like, share, follow and subscribe.
That's it. Then you'll be the first to know about the great stuff we do, like Your View, the extended B team highlights we're doing this year, or features like Brentford versus Golf Life. Plus today we're giving away that signed copy of FIFA 22 by David Raya, as Drizzy has already got the game, so we've got him a different prize. So stay tuned later in the show for how you can win that. Right, last week, West London derby, Ben Chilwell said the last 20 minutes were hell on earth. Marcus Gale, how have we not scored?
I'm not too sure how we didn't score. We gave a great account for ourselves that second period, and particularly those last 20 minutes, we scared them to bits. Just a little bit unlucky. But we've got to keep plugging away.
What was the difference, Marcus, between the first half and the second half? Because first half they did have a lot of the ball, but second half it was just relentless from us.
I just felt we came out a lot braver than the first half. The system changed as well. I think that just gave us that impetus to go on and get at them. The substitutions, bringing on Marcus Force, just in that little pocket of space to occupy them while the paper's flying around the stadium. But that's totally fine. We're professional and we'll keep this rolling.
Keep it going, Kelly. We've got this.
We got this.
We've got this. Well, I'm glad we've got to get in the studio soon, didn't we? Right, despite that possession in the first half, they didn't cut us open too much, did they, Carly? Overall, we had 17 shots on target in this game. Bit of perspective, right? Man City, who beat them at Stamford Bridge, only had 15 on target. Liverpool, the only side to have had more on target than us, they had 24, but they obviously played Chelsea with only 10 men for half a game. They're European champions. Let's get that right. So surely, you kind of mentioned already, there's so many positives to take from that performance still.
There's loads of positives to take from performance. When you think about the strong start we've had, we've taken Liverpool to the absolute wire. The performance against Chelsea was fantastic, and I think was even better than the Liverpool performance personally. So the positives that the players should be taking, they should be full of confidence. They should have that belief where it's like, it doesn't matter who we play against, we're going to have a chance. And if we really, do what we know we can do to the best of our abilities, we can go and win the game.
Exactly that. Full time was a weird one, Marcus, because we'd actually lost the game. But look, I'll be honest, I didn't really know whether to put Hey Jude on or not. But it felt almost like the fans had such a great game. They were so good backing us. The players had played their heart out and put in such an amazing performance that I'll be honest, I didn't know what to do, and we did play it, but it was a nice moment, wasn't it, still at full time, that appreciation between both?
Yeah, that's what's special about Brentford. We've got that connection with the fans and the players, the staff, everyone's in this together. It was like a sweet defeat, if you can say something like that. We played really well. We didn't win the match, but we gave a good account of ourselves, and I think the music selection, yes, that was appropriate as well. It's still our song. We sing that with pride and distinction, and it weren't nothing to be down about. We've given a really good account of ourselves against one of the best teams in the world.
Well, the fans were great, and speaking of the fans, I've taken it upon myself to embark on a one-man crusade to let every single member of the first team squad know about the song that you're singing about them, and this week it's the Ivan Pinnock edition. Pinnock in the air, Pinnock in the air. Mate, you're giving me a bad look there.
Nah.
How are you, mate? You
Yeah,
good?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. So that's your sort. Basically, last week with Johan, I sang his song "Whistler's on Fire." He'd never heard it.
Oh, had you not?
Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that either.
Nah. Right, we got to raise it. That's not too fair. Shout out Sam Jacks, who's the first person. I'm giving you the writing credit. I heard him sing that against Villa, and it's catching on a little bit.
Okay.
So we got to get it going. But mate, you are ridiculous in the air. You're absolutely unbelievable. That playoff final against Swansea,
Yeah.
won every header. It was unbelievable. This year you've carried it on.
Yeah.
You're third for aerial duels won. I can't believe that you're only third. But do you know how many you've actually lost this year?
40?
40?
I don't know.
You think you've lost
Rough
40
guess.
headers? Mate, you've lost
No,
10 all
10?
year.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Only 10. And obviously top of the charts is Ivan,
Yeah.
right? You two have played each other a few times. So who's winning that?
Well, the results speak for itself. We won both games when I played against him. He didn't score, so I'll just keep it at that.
So that's all you're
Yeah.
saying. You're not going to say seriously I am. But right, on heading, like, how are you so good at heading? Because you started off as a winger, right?
Yeah.
Wingers shouldn't be
I
good
know.
at heading.
I don't think I was.
Nah?
I think, yeah. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just, timing,
Yeah.
jumping, yeah, just
Right.
trying to time it and not trying to fight the player. I think sometimes players can get caught up on where the opponent is,
Yeah.
but I kind of just focus on getting to a place where I can try and meet the ball at its highest. So sometimes that maybe just with a little run up, yeah, just
So-
gives me a free head.
I'm what? Just under 6 foot, would you say? Yeah?
5'9", I'd say.
I'd take 5'9".
Oh, what are you?
I
5'7"?
5'7", yeah.
Okay.
Cheers. But do you reckon I could be good in the air?
Be tricky because obviously people are naturally taller
You're
than
saying
you.
tiny though.
So, yeah, but have you got a big leap? If you've got a big leap, then you'll be all right.
Not big enough. Nah,
Nah.
I'm going to struggle. Well, look, let's go back to those non-league days, mate. I know it's spoken about a lot, but your rise has been absolutely unbelievable. Promoted on your birthday
Yeah.
from
not
the
a bad
championship.
birthday.
I was going to say, best birthday
Yeah.
present ever.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, have you had a chance to kind of look back? And I'm sure you get asked this a lot, and kind of look at what you have achieved.
Yeah. So after the playoff final, I had a couple of days there to just kind of take everything in, and yeah, I think that's probably been like the most time I've had to like kind of just take everything in, and my whole journey, and when I think about it, it's a little bit surreal.
And like you say, it was your birthday, right?
Yeah.
But everyone's up here celebrating promotion. You're like, yeah, but it's also my birthday. Right? Do you know what
Nah, I
mean?
think I forgot it was my birthday as well. So yeah.
Double celebrations. And
Yeah.
going back to those non-league days, how much do you think that shaped the player that you are today?
Yeah, I think it had a big impact. Obviously from Dulwich, I learnt a lot there. I started off as playing boys football, and that's where I first started playing men's football. Played a lot of games there. Went through uni whilst I was there, and I was working whilst I was there. So that's obviously played a big part in my journey. Then obviously, kind of step by step, I've just kind of gone up the levels.
And obviously, I'm sure you're loving it at the moment, but do you miss any of it from the days back then? Because I imagine it was pretty fun, those non-league days, and there's a lot of camaraderie in there.
Yeah, definitely. There's always aspects that you miss. Obviously, a lot of the boys I was in the youth team with, we used to go out together and whatever and do stuff outside of football.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously now in a more professional environment, you've got to take care of yourself properly. But there's little bits and pieces that I think you always miss. But then obviously on the flip side, there's stuff now. You play at the grounds we're playing at, the facilities and things like that.
Yeah.
It's all like just top notch. So it's a bit of give and take kind of thing.
When you look back, are there any moments, because I think everyone has this in their life, when you go, wow, that was a big decision I had to make there. I'm glad I made that decision, or I can't believe I nearly didn't do that. Do you look back, is there any moments in your career you have that?
I kind of say maybe going to Forest Green.
Yeah.
Because it was obviously I had to move up there. It was the first time I kind of lived away from home, so it was like kind of a big decision for me. And obviously going into there from Dulwich, you know, you come from a couple leagues down, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have to kind of work your way into the team. But you know, it all kind of worked out really well there in the end.
Yeah, amazing. And the obvious question here is, what is the difference between Championship strikers and Premier League strikers? But I want to know what's the difference between strikers as you go up through all the levels.
Well, I'd say. So where do you want me to start with?
Well, like non-league, like
Okay,
yeah, go all the way
so-
back to non-league, like all the way
Yeah,
to Premier League.
I'd say in the lower leagues, when I was in non-league, the strikers are probably more physical. So they, in terms of like running in the behind, there might not have been as many strikers that were looking to run in behind. They kind of more play in front of you and want to kind of use their strength. And then I think as you go up the levels, the strikers, they're more focused on their movement and, you know, trying to catch you off guard and, you know, trying to get on the wrong side of you or waiting for you to kind of lose concentration.
Yeah.
And obviously in the Premier League, you know, the teams play really fast, so I think it's just like that split second, you know, you can't afford to switch off. The strikers will be making darting runs in front of you, or they'll kind of dropping short to make you come in to leave gaps behind you. So I think as you go up the levels, there's just more different aspects to their games, and there's more ways that there's more things they try and do to catch you out, and you know, and yeah, you just basically got to be switched on for 90 plus minutes.
Last year, and well, a lot of your time here, you played in a 2 with Pontus, and
Yeah.
now back end of last season we went back to the 3.
Yeah.
How does that affect your game personally, being in a 3 and on the left side of that 3?
Well, I think you kind of, in the back 3, you've got more responsibility to kind of step in and, you know, move forward with the ball. Also, when you're defending, there's more times where you've got to defend against the winger rather than just a striker. So there's times where, you know, you have to come out really wide if the wing backs are high,
Yeah.
and, you know, try and get tight to the winger, and you end up in more 1v1 situations as well. But also it gives you kind of that extra security that if you're out, there's still 2 centre-backs in the box or 2 centre-backs behind you. So I think it's like a different twist, but I think we've kind of adapted really well to it, and it's working really well at the minute.
It also means you find yourself quite a lot of time pretty high up the pitch. Is that
Yeah.
where your old winger days come in handy with your crossing and that?
Exactly. So I try and switch back into them days and try and do a bit. Well,
Yeah.
not that I had much, but yeah.
Well, you've also bagged your first Premier League goal.
Yeah.
Talk to me about. I'll never get to feel that feeling. I'll never get to feel a feeling of scoring any goal. But to score in the Premier League,
Yeah.
when that hit the
Yes.
net, what went through your body?
Pain through my right hip because I smashed my hip to get the ball, but yeah, it was an amazing feeling. You know, the fans hearing them roar, my family, my kids and stuff, they were all at the game. So
Oh, amazing.
to be able to score at home, my first ever Premier League game in front of the fans and my family was just, yeah, it's a top feeling.
Seen that or not? What is that?
Oh, that's just like a bird, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you do the bird?
I don't know, I just like it. It's good. I think Anelka used to do it, so
Right.
yeah, I just used to see that celebration. I thought, yeah.
I like it. I like it. Well, look, your centre-back partner, who's just inside of you, you know, I'm going to talk about here, who hasn't maybe been as prolific as you have in front of goal, Pontus Jansson.
Yeah.
Mate, is he ever going to score?
I don't know. To be fair, I think he might just be saving it for when we really need it. So
Do you guys give
Maybe.
him a stick for it?
yeah, a few of the boys batter him about it now and
Yeah.
then. But,
That's brave.
yeah, as long as he's doing the other side of the game right, you know,
Yeah.
we'll let him off. But he's defo due one soon.
How big is that celebration going to be the day he scores?
Oh mate, I don't know what he's gonna do. To be fair,
Smash that. He's
Yeah,
going to
he
be halfway
might
up the
be.
West
He
Stand.
might be. He might be.
And look, you two as a partnership was so good last year, and you kind of complement each other so well. You're very calming, very kind of level-headed on the pitch. He's very passionate and very, at times, maybe aggressive.
Yeah.
He gets angry sometimes. I've never seen you angry though. Have you ever been angry in your life?
Yeah, of course. Everyone gets angry.
But when?
It
I've
just-
never seen
It
it.
just takes Or ask my kids if I've ever been angry.
So is that
I'll
what
try.
gets you angry? The
Nah,
kids
they're-
playing
Nah,
up?
they're alright, to be fair. I don't know. I think it takes a lot, but yeah, maybe if I leave food in the fridge and then it's gone,
Yeah,
that might make me angry.
that's the
yeah.
only thing that will make you angry. Food being left in the fridge and it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's not bad at all. So remember, you're all right until you start nicking Ethan's food. Top man. Cheers for your time.
Cheers, mate.
I need to stop singing in features, really, don't I? Humiliating myself and ruining any relationship that I might have had with any of the players. Right, let's talk about Ethan. His story is remarkable, isn't it? It gets mentioned a bit, but I don't feel like people really are appreciating what an incredible achievement it is to go from Mill Academy, get released as a winger, playing on league football, and then now playing international football and as a Premier League footballer, Carly.
Incredible, and I think, like, you know, he was a winger, changed position, went as a centre half. I think sometimes it's harder to get those moves as a centre half. You know, as a forward, you can get those moves because you score goals. You might not bring loads of other things to the game, but if you're scoring goals, people will always take a chance. I think sometimes it's harder for defenders to get those type of moves. So it just goes to show how good of a defender he is, because his rise has been remarkable in such a short space of time. And he deserves more credit. To me, I think he deserves more credit.
He gets better and better every week, I think. Apart from his aerial dominance. Carly, as another centre-back, what impresses you about Ethan?
He's a good reader of the game, reads the game really, really well. Good on the ball, confident, can drive out, but a good range of passing. Obviously a threat in the attacking box as well. But his game is getting better, and I think because of, you know, the late change of position, coming into the programme late as well, I think for him his learning is even more magnified now, and I think he picks up so much more because he's still chasing that dream, if that makes sense.
Well, he's still got those attributes of a winger.
Yeah.
You see him shielding the ball in defence.
Yeah.
That's what a winger would do to get past his fullback. You see now he's finished against Liverpool. That's a left winger finishing the ball off into the back of the net. So he's got great attributes that he's retained from being a young winger. I'm sure he must have had a growth spurt, because I can't imagine him being 6'4", 6'5", playing left wing like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great addition. And I think one of the biggest things about him is that he still remained very humble from that upbringing, you know, from non-league all the way into the Premier League, an international footballer as well. It shows what the man is made of.
How big is it in the way that we play, Marcus, having Ethan and Chris Adja or Zanka that we've seen recently, who are all so comfortable on the ball, either side of Pontus, in our style of play?
It gives those players, particularly in the wider sides of the defence, the three-man defence, gives them the confidence to go forward and have no fear. We've seen that with Christoph against Liverpool, getting down that edge of the box area, putting the ball in there, knowing that he got players behind him. But in that case, he had Pontus that was in the box for that goal as well. But it just shows you the confidence they have within each other, that there is that extra man at the back.
Let's get on to his aerial prowess, right? We've seen the stats. I mean, he's joint third in the Premier League this year for aerial duels won. Ivan's first. Ethan, like we said in the piece, only lost 10 headers all year. How ridiculous is that as a stat, Cardi?
That's an unbelievable stat. It's a fantastic stat.
That's like what, just over one a game?
Yeah,
Just over, yeah.
So it just goes to show how good and how dominant he is in the air. And listen, it's a good stat to have. It's something we need. So it's good.
He dodged the question a little bit in the thing, diplomatically answered it, but who's winning in the air, Ethan or Ivan?
I'm going Ethan.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Ethan because of Defenders Union.
Oh, here we go.
You should have gone Ivan for the opposite
to be
reason.
fair.
Hold up. I'm going Ethan and I'm sticking with Ethan.
all right.
That's not to say
I'm not picking.
Tony's no good in the air. Tony's brilliant in the air, but I just think Ethan is just that little bit
All right,
above.
juicy question. Who wins in the air out of you two in your prime?
In my
I
prime.
beat Gailey all day. And I beat Ethan and Pinnock. I beat Ethan and.
This is the Luke Skywalker Yoda moment. I schooled this kid when he was first coming in there, didn't know how to do nothing, so I taught him all that he knew in one session while he was beating up Lloyd Owusu in the game.
To be fair, Gailey did teach me a lot. And Dion Burton was another one.
Yeah.
Because obviously Dion wasn't big necessarily, but he was unbelievable in the air.
So I've got a chance then.
No. We don't. But like I said, in my prime, I think I'm up there. I think I'm up there, yeah.
I don't know, you know.
YouTube boys, stop fighting, I've got to do the next link. This week, everyone is talking about Squid Game and these honeycomb cookies. So TikTok Luke took some down to the training ground to see if they could do the Dalgona challenge. So I've got about 3 minutes 50 to see if I can do these while you watch this.
Oh, I'd definitely love to take Rico's marbles.
Please look into the camera. Smile.
Oh. Yeah, do you know what? It smells very nice. We didn't play red light, green light. Well, we did, but it's called What's the Time, Mr. Wolf. I used to play Bulldog, 40-40 homie. They're trying to distract me, innit? It's quite easy.
You know what this guy did? With this.
Alright, well that's a good start. That just broke off. That's a good start. That was an accident, by the way. Tug of war. Ivan, because he wins headers, so he should be good at tug of war. Pontus, because he's the captain, so he can talk us through it. He can lead the group. Ethan don't lose any duel. So yeah, I definitely have Ethan in there. So those three big fellas. But mate, I'm struggling with this, by the way.
Ivan, Charlie. How many I can pick? Ivan, Charlie, including me or?
Pick Álvaro and David. The goalkeepers. Yeah. So the goalkeepers are crazy. They will help me, you know. This is hard.
Julian, Pontus, and we need the smart guy. Me, maybe, yeah, me. Should survive easily in this Squid Game. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes, that's it.
Player
Too
19.
easy.
Pass.
Yeah, can I eat it?
I feel like both ends of the needle were sharp. It's like digging into my hand. I literally, wait, I'm going rogue. Oh, I'm bad.
So easy. This is fine.
Player 27. Pass.
It's too easy. Give me a different one.
Vita, you want to help me? You did it, huh? Well, what did you do? This?
Maybe the marbles. I'm a bit of a cheater. Yeah? Yeah, I think I'll win at marbles.
Who'd you pair up with?
Oh, I'd definitely love to take Rico's marbles. Pause!
Well, the first one, definitely. I like the first one. Yee! Vita, I don't know if I'm gonna see you tomorrow, huh? Bro, this is hard. Oh, downward.
Yeah, trust me. It's easier than you think, trust me. It's easier than you think.
Now
Now we can talk.
we can talk.
I think that's done. Am I dead or what? What was the shape in the first place? Have a look at that.
Player 2. Eliminated.
What was that, sunflower? Oh, very nice.
Almost. Oh, that's when I start sweating. Nah. No, I don't think I passed. Look.
Player 7. Eliminated.
Oh, so bad. To be fair, the star is quite difficult. Really nice.
I'm going much for this. Cut me off. Right, Leicester Sunday in the Talia derby. Split loyalties for our crew member Talia, who still needs to get that tattoo, didn't she?
Yep, she still needs to get that tattoo, and we got evidence that she wrote it as well.
Exactly. Well, look, these are really good, by the way. Anyway, Leicester have just scored 4 goals in back-to-back games in the league and in the cup. That win against Man United, to be fair, was really, really impressive. They sit just below us in the league, similar kind of points. They're a weird one because they narrowly missed out on Champions League football last year. I think they're brilliant. Where do you kind of place them in the league, Carly?
Yeah, I think they're up there. They'll be challenging kind of that top 6 position. Brendan Rodgers, fantastic manager, he's done well at kind of every club he's been at, he's improved players. So Leicester will come here with confidence, but I think it'll be a really good, fast, energetic game.
Open game again, great style of football. Love how Brendan gets his teams to play. They're very creative, entertaining. We're going to give them the same as well because we're bang on it and looking to bounce back from last week's defeat.
The obvious thing here is to go big on Jamie Vardy, right? But then in midweek, Patson Daka scores 4 against Spartak Moscow. We've seen recently, like us, they've been going 2 up top. As a manager now, are you tempted to go with Daka ahead of Iheanacho, who's been starting regularly with Vardy? What would you be doing there?
I'll probably go with the senior man. That's his nickname, isn't it? Iheanacho. I'll go with senior man. I like him.
Do you think Brendan Rodgers will do that?
Brendan will pick the best combination to try and beat us on Sunday. So that's down to them. But I probably think he would lean with Iheanacho.
We've not really come up against many sides that play 2 up top, Carly. What problems will that give us?
It will cause slightly more problems because it might end up pinning one of our 3 back, obviously when we're trying to drive out with the ball and things like that. But to be honest, I think because we've got the 3 at the back, we'll be in a good position to cover it anyway. It won't cause us too many problems. The biggest issue will be Vardy's movement, and if they have a 3rd man runner from there. Because if Vardy's taking one of our, 3rds and a halves out, then that 3rd man runner is the danger really. So that's where the midfield need to make sure.
So they've played Maddison just behind a few times. So what do we need to do there? Is that where we need Christian or whoever's kind of playing in that role to pick up those players and make sure that you track your runner, right?
Yeah, that's the communication point, isn't it? That's the key to the communication there, making sure the midfielder tracks the runner, or making sure that you get one of the wing back in early and quickly to cover that space so they don't have that space. Because you don't want, if your 3's gone wide, then you need to make sure that you 2 don't get split, because then there's a real problem. So it's either tucking one of the wing backs back in early or getting them in a narrower position, or making sure the midfield follow the run.
Proper coach Carly, that. Proper coach. I like it.
Coach there.
Yeah. Ethan mentioned about strikers going up through the leagues, and he said Premier League strikers, he doesn't have a second to rest. He's always got to be on it. He's always got to be looking because the movement's so good. Have we got to be at our best on Sunday in regards to Jamie Vardy? Is he the best about at doing that?
His movement for sure is going to keep everyone on their toes. He works so hard off the ball, so we can't sort of elaborate on the ball too much because we know he's going to hunt you down, which he's excellent at. Even though he's getting older, but his age doesn't impact him at all on how he plays. He's a great example of keeping yourself fit and fresh. His attitude's spot on as well, but I'm sure we can deal with his sort of pace anyway. We've had players that are probably quicker than him anyway against Liverpool.
People like him,
Yeah, I played against Vardy when he was at Leicester, I think, when he first went there.
Oh, you played against him?
Yeah, it was horrible. He was everywhere.
Really?
Yeah,
Did he beat you in the air?
Nah. His movement is incredible. His movement's brilliant, and like I said, he has that. He still has that kind of raw non-league about him, doesn't he? Where he's happy to work off the ball. When he's on the ball, he's got the quality and he can finish, but he is non-stop. So it'll be a good challenge.
To be fair, they've conceded 2 goals in their last 4 league games and 5 in all competitions, so could be a potential goal fest here.
I think it's an open match. I think a good few goals are going to be scored on the day. Couldn't really predict the scoreline in terms of that, but I think there's going to be goals.
Well, if we're thinking there's going to be goals, let's get our FPL hats on, Fantasy Premier League. Surely then, This man has got to be in your fantasy teams this week. Brian Mbeumo, he's almost a cheat code. He's listed as a midfielder, and get on that price, £5.5 million. What a bargain. He's been unlucky this year. He's hit the woodwork 6 times. There's no club that's hit the woodwork more than he has individually. He hit twice against Chelsea. Surely he's going to stick 3 past someone soon, isn't he, Carly?
I hope so, yeah. I hope so. Listen, he's getting himself in really good positions. Would I put him in my fantasy team? I would love to, but he keeps hitting the post, so I couldn't. I want the
Who's in
goals.
your fantasy team then?
Well, Tony's in mine, to be fair. Ivan's in mine.
That's the big shout. A lot of people going for Ivan Toney.
Ivan's in mine. But yeah, as soon as Brian starts sticking him in the net, he goes straight into my team, no problems.
Well, I'm too old for all this stuff, so I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm still on Sabutio.
Who else would you kind of be looking at, maybe, Marcus?
What, from our team?
Yeah.
Ethan, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Pontus has been excellent this season.
He's due a goal as well.
He's due a goal. He's got to be up there. I think I just want to know his celebration when he scores. I want to see what the big man's got.
I said it to Ethan. I think he's going to go straight into the West Stand if it's there.
Straight in.
Yeah, I think he's going straight in. Well, so we're not all in agreement of who we would put in our fantasy team. I'm going Brian Mbeumo though. Get him in your team. Talking of your teams, we want to know, what is your team name? What's your team name?
Oz FC.
Yeah, simple. I like
FC.
that. What would yours be?
Gale Force, isn't it? Come on.
Yeah, I ain't got one. Awustu, I had that for a while, used to be mine. So like I say, tell us what your team name is in the comments below, and then you could win a copy of FIFA 22 signed by David Raya. We'll get one of the boys to pick it next week, and the deadline is midday on Monday. That's it for this week. Quick. Yeah, it's cold though, isn't it? We've got to get in the studio. Well, like I said, that is it for this week. But make sure you tune in next week as we've got Football Friends reunited. As Carly and Christopher Adja have a little reunion. Basically, in brackets, we tell Christopher Adja who he is again just before we start filming. Only joking, mate. Plus, it's Halloween and it means it's the first challenge of the season. Have a great week. Come on, you bees. You Reds!